Okay, we are live. My name is Attorney Vincent Davis, and this is The Secret: How to Fight CPS and Win. And today I'm joined by a very special guest, Larry. Larry, how are you?
I am good. Just living my life the best I can and focusing on my children 100%.
Sounds great. Now, I noticed a little southern accent. Where are you from?
No, I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you spend any time in the South? Maybe my no.
No, I've just been around a lot of different people and just catch on to different people's way of talking.
What part of Pennsylvania are you from?
I am from near Pittsburgh.
How far is that from a place called Scranton?
Scranton. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not
Okay.
very far from the line of West Virginia, like right on the border almost.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, so you're in Pennsylvania. Apparently, you've been had some type of interaction with CPS.
Yes.
What's going on with you and CPS there in Pennsylvania?
Right now they have taken I have three children in CYS. I recently just had a new baby, and the judge confirmed that I can keep the baby here with me, which is a huge plus. But my other three kids are still gone. Um, Two of them, they're talking about giving them back to me. But my oldest daughter, something sexually explicit happened to her, and they're holding on to her a lot harder, and they're not willing to give her back to me. I've done so many different things to prove to the people that I've upgraded parenting classes, drug and alcohol, counseling, take medication, all the works, and they're still at this point not giving me any answers. I've questioned a lot of the process, like, hey, where do I stand in this? And even my own lawyer at this point isn't for me at this point. He's basically telling me to give up on my oldest daughter and just let it go. And I told him that is not a good answer for me.
How old is your oldest daughter?
She is 10 going on 11, and I haven't seen her for almost 2 years now.
What? Why
Yeah,
haven't you seen her for
since
years?
they took her away from me, and that they said that there was a no contact order. Um um they tried to incorporate me into what happened to her. Um some of the people that were around um took advantage of my daughter when I wasn't paying attention, and they automatically assumed that I was a part of it and that I was okay with it. And I told them no, I never had no knowing of her doing this or them doing that, but they still keep on going by and keep pushing that I'm a part of it and I'm not.
Do you know whether your daughter wants to visit with you?
Yes, my daughter, they've made remarks many times that she misses me. She wants to exchange pictures with us so that she can keep in contact. But I have to go through a CYS worker, which I'm not completely agreeing with her at this moment. She kind of smiles in my face, but turns around and uses everything against me. So I got to stay on my guard with her.
You know, I'm not sure why there would be a no contact order with you and your child.
Well, here's the full story. There was a point in my life when I was drinking a lot, and whenever I was drinking, I was kind of in my own little world. And throughout the process, I found out that something happened to my daughter. My girlfriend was dealing with my issues alone. She filmed a video of me drinking, but I was also trying to deal with my daughter's uh, problem at the same time. And the FBI got the video of me drinking, yelling at my daughter, and they automatically connected the two cases, my drinking with my daughter's sex trafficking or whatever happened to her. And I've completely fixed my drinking, done everything I could, but they will not let go of. They keep trying to connect me with that, and I'm not a part of it.
What I would be interested in seeing are the allegations the judge that found to be true at the beginning of the case. See,
Yeah,
here's the problem, Larry. Sometimes, and this happens a lot. So what's happening to you is not unusual. Sometimes um, people people have allegations made
perceptions.
against, allegations made against you, which are false,
Yes.
along with maybe some allegations which may be true, like you were drinking, had an alcohol issue.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the judge finds both of those true. Okay, finds the
Yes.
drinking true and the knowledge about the sex trafficking true. Okay, now
Yes.
you know in your heart of hearts that only one was true, and that was the drinking, and you
Yes.
denied the sex trafficking issue.
Yes.
What
No.
happens
No.
is what happens is if the judge finds both to be true, okay, and you don't appeal that. In California, you have 60 days to appeal. You don't appeal that within the 60 days. That becomes the law of your case. It's etched in stone. It can never be changed.
Yeah.
And as much as people tell me how unfair that is, and I agree, that's the law. I can't make or change unfairness in the law. That has to be
Yes.
done at an appellate court level, and I'm not a judge, or it has to be done in the state legislature, right?
Okay.
So, um, I have a feeling, although I've never seen your file, that that's what
Okay.
happened to you. And one of the reasons why they're not allowing you any type of contact is because you haven't admitted or acknowledged what the judge has found to be true, which is false. You follow that?
Yeah. One of the craziest parts about it all is I'm actually the guy who contacted the authorities to have the correct things done so that the people who hurt my daughter can be convicted. And yet they don't see that as me being a good person. I went and did all the proper things to help, and it
Right.
doesn't feel.
Larry, I feel you. I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, and Miss G and I talk about this all the time. There's justice what we believe to be justice in our hearts and in our minds.
Yeah.
And then there's justice in the courtroom.
Okay.
Never shall the two meet. They're not the same. On my YouTube video, you have you ever seen any of my YouTube channel?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So after this show, I want you to go to YouTube, youtube.com, and type in Vince Davis, what is justice? Now, two videos will come up. I want you to look at the one where I'm standing in front of a whiteboard and actually talk. I'm actually talking to two people that are sitting in my conference room. And
Okay.
one of the people was a client who I guess I knew that she was videotaping, but it wasn't planned. She actually videotaped me giving this explanation to her. Okay. And it's probably the
Yeah.
best one I've ever done. And she, because it wasn't scripted or anything, she sent me the video. And so I posted it. What is justice? It's about a 7-minute video, but it will explain to you the difference between what you think justice is in your heart of hearts and what real justice is.
Yeah.
There's about a 5% overlap. So that means that 95% of what you believe is false.
Hmm.
Now, I hate to tell you, you look like you're about 30, 35 years old. Um,
Yeah.
your sense of justice has been the experience in your life, the beliefs that you've developed, the people that you've talked to in the last 35 years. Here's the
Yeah.
problem. Here's the problem. It's 95% wrong when you compare it to what is justice inside the courtroom. Now,
Yes.
Larry, I don't think that we've ever talked before. I've never reviewed
No.
your case, but I can
No.
tell from what you're telling me what the problem probably is. Because I'm thinking to myself, what would make the judge give you a no contact order? And the only thing that I could think of is that you might be in denial about what the judge found to be true. Now, I'm not saying it's true. What's true and what the judge found to be true are different things. And
They
in my experience, people keep trying to make them the same thing. You know, I talk a lot about, people coming to me during module 5. I divide up the CPS experience in court in five or six modules. People come to me in module 5 and they are telling me about something that happened in module 1 because they never got justice in module 1. They never accepted the outcome in module 1. Okay?
okay.
Because they know it's not right. But that's over. It's water under the bridge. And as far as your case is concerned, in module 1 and module 2, the judge made findings. Those findings are basically akin to the word of God. They've come from the clouds. They're in the 10 commandments that, God gave Moses. Now you're saying, well, wait a minute, it's wrong. You did, the judge made those findings, you didn't appeal or you lost the appeal. It becomes the 10 commandments, whether you like it or not. Now,
Okay.
proceeding forward into module, 3, 4, 5, you have to go by the 10 commandments. I know that's counterintuitive and it doesn't feel right, but I didn't make the law. And I'm just telling you, the name of this show is How to Fight CPS and Win. Notice it's not how to be right. Notice it's not let me exonerate Larry and his good name. So many
Okay.
people are looking for that. I would tell you, Larry, that, we get so many calls a day, Monday through Friday, Saturdays and Sundays. I would tell you probably 90% of people that initially call me are looking at how to figure out how to be right and how to exonerate their good name, not
Yeah.
how to get my kid back.
Um.
Because
Yeah.
all those things are different.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. That's kind of how it feels a little bit like a combination of sticking up for myself, sticking up for my
Right.
children, but also incorporating the facts. And yeah, it's
It's a tough and sometimes a bitter pill to swallow. And let me tell you something. Miss G's on the show with us right now. It took her years to accept that. Years. And look, this is Larry. This is the first time that we've talked. I think. I don't think we've ever talked before.
no,
And
we
I'm t-
haven't.
and I bet I'm telling you a concept you haven't really thought about or didn't
Um. Um.
realize the significance, the differences between the two. Now,
Um.
listen, look at this. Look at the name of this show. Okay, the
Yes.
secret, the secret, because nobody really knows this. How to fight CPS and win. That's not the same as, hey, let me tell you how to exonerate your name, your good name.
Okay.
Hey, let me show you how to show the judge that you're right.
Okay.
No, not at all. Not, you know, it's a funny thing. I'm currently involved in a case. I represent the mother. No, excuse me. I represent the father, and a very good friend of mine represents the mother, he's an excellent CPS attorney as well. We had a four-way conversation yesterday with our clients, and afterwards, he calls me, and this is what he tells me. He says, "Vince, I know our clients want to be right, but I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win."
Um, I'm having issues at this moment. Um, it almost feels like everything about my case is almost backwards. Um, Even my lawyer at this point backwards. Everybody's making assumptions about the video, and they're going based off of that, even though I've fixed everything. And then I thought that was the answer to getting my children back, fixing myself and her going through therapy. That was going to be an answer from coming up out of it. But they're,
Listen to what you just said.
yeah,
I thought the answer is Larry.
yeah,
And let me say this with all due respect.
yeah.
What you think
Hmm.
has nothing to do with winning the case.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
That's why I people ask me all the time, what's the most important video you have ever done? The most important video is, what is justice? Let me explain to you what is justice, because you have no idea. And you're going to go on in your life and in this case, and you're going to be frustrated.
Yes,
You're going to be, pissed off. You're going to claim everybody's corrupt, but you don't know you're playing football using the rules they use in baseball. They
mm,
don't match up. Realize the, I guess, game that you're in and play by those rules, even if you don't like them. Hey, Larry, let me ask you something.
yeah.
You ever watch professional baseball?
What is it? Professional?
Baseball, Major League Baseball.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Why is it that 3 strikes on a batter and he's out? Why is that?
Um, um, I never thought about the actual numbers, but three seems like a magic number through a lot of different things.
Well, 3 strikes and you're out is a rule in Major League Baseball,
Yeah,
right? So it's just a rule. You never thought why. Like if I ask
yeah,
you, hey, Larry, why isn't it 5 strikes and you're out?
yeah.
Why not 2 strikes and you're out? Because it's not the
I
rule.
understand. It's
It's
not
just
the rule.
it's an arbitrary number picked by someone way
I
back in the
understand.
day, late 1800s when they started developing baseball.
Gotcha.
We've just lived with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you stop on red and go on green?
Because that's the way it's always been, and that's what it is.
It's the rule.
There
Well,
you
you
go.
know
It's
what?
the rule.
That's interesting that you say that, because in juvenile court, they operate by those same principles. That's the way
Okay,
it's always been. I don't
okay.
see you out protesting to change the law about red and green lights. I don't see you out protesting about changing the strike rule in baseball. In professional football, why is it 10 yards and it's a first down? How come it's not 15 yards? How come it's not 5 yards? It's just
Yeah,
the
it's all.
freaking rule. It's just a rule.
Yeah, it's just the rule. It's just the
So if
rule.
you
What it
ex-
is.
if you accept those rules, why don't you accept the rules in CPS court?
The rules themselves to me, they make sense, but in my situation, I feel like they're a little backwards. I understand them to a point, but uh, it's something that's just not understandable. I feel like yeah, I, like
Well,
with
When it
my
comes
daughter.
to children, when it comes to his children or anyone's children, our children, it's not understandable as that because the children are more your flesh and blood. A
right.
game is just a game,
Yeah.
it's just a game. It's nothing to
Let,
them.
let me read to you what Paul just posted. Hey, Paul, watching on Facebook. I've just accepted that. I thank you for it. It's such a perfect summation of my problem for the last 2 years. Now, once you've accepted that, now you can strategize and implement your strategy to get your children back. Don't get
Okay.
hung up on the fact of what a judge did 5 months ago, 6
Yeah.
months ago. It's done.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
you do can change it. So let's not waste time trying to do that. Let's spend our time in how to win despite the fact the judge made the wrong decision. Okay? Because that's the only way you can win. Okay? Because this show is about winning. It's not about vindicating yourself.
Yeah.
Now, will people then ask me, well, how am I ever going to do that? And this is my perfect answer.
Trial, appeal.
No, get your kids back
Mm-hmm.
and then sue the social worker. Then you can vindicate your name. Okay? And then you can show the world that you're right. But don't think about that now. You got
But
bigger
Yeah.
fish. You got bigger fish to fry. You
but
got to
wouldn't
get.
that be in the appeal as well when you
It
do
could
cross
be. Well,
examination?
here's the problem, Georgette. It's too late for him to appeal.
Oh,
He probably
Yeah.
didn't even know he could appeal.
No, let alone my attorney wasn't really helpful in helping me
he
defend
didn't.
myself. I
Right.
pretty much got this far on my own.
Miss G, how many times you heard that before?
Oh my God.
Like,
Honestly, Larry, like 100 times a day. Yeah,
right,
100 times a day. Kid you not. I was working until 2:45 in the morning, by the way. I'm so exhausted. And I was trying to explain to a mother the same exact thing. Please don't be so fixed on being vindicated. Just try to get your kids back first, and then we can handle the vindication later. But sometimes you have to
Yeah,
humble yourself. Yeah.
that's one of the craziest parts about it actually is a lot of my proof and a lot of what I'm saying to try to help my daughter and my children. A lot of the facts lie with my oldest daughter who is away, who I can't see. And she's going through therapy, and they're not letting her speak her part in any of it. And they keep
How
saying
old is
also
she though?
that what is it?
How old is she?
She is going on 11. And I feel like a lot of the facts lie with her. She actually knows a lot of what's actually happened. But it's like by them keeping her away from me, and they're not allowing the truth to come out. They're holding it back, and
Wow.
they're rearranging it.
Okay, Larry, I believe you 110%.
We believe you
Yeah.
actually.
Okay, but here's the thing. And now what are you going to do?
Um.
Like, let me ask you something, because I asked Miss G this years ago.
Yeah.
What's your number one goal in this case? What's your number one
My
goal?
number one. Right now, as of now, I would love to have my oldest daughter back and just get her head on straight, and just to see her be back to regular life. That's number one.
Okay, now let me ask you this, and please be honest with me, okay?
Hmm.
If that's your number one goal, how is you fighting the lies and corruption of the CPS worker going to help that?
It is not.
Oh, what a revelation!
Yeah, it,
What a
it's
revelation!
it's almost also that they want you to be focused on that as they come through and they question you. It makes you want to feel like that, and you
Right.
kind of get stuck in the situation.
Hey, Larry, were you ever in the military?
I was not.
Okay. A big part of our military, for example, the Army, is a division called PSYOPs. You ever heard that
Okay.
term?
No,
PSYOPs?
I haven't.
Okay. PsyOps is how to wager psychological warfare against your enemy,
Yes.
because it's the easiest way to defeat your enemy without losing lives and without spending money
That's
or
right.
a lot of money, right? You know how much a fighter bomber costs? You know, one of these new age bombers. It's like $1 billion
Mhm.
for one.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I trained my CPS workers how to defeat parents using psychological warfare, how much would that cost? Not very much. Okay.
Gotcha.
So you probably don't even realize this. The CPS worker that you've been dealing with or workers you've been dealing with, they are
Hmm.
highly trained in psychological warfare.
They're demonic.
Yeah.
They
They're
don't
I
demons.
agree with that.
they don't call it psychological warfare because, oh, look at, I mean, what would people think? But they're highly trained in psychological warfare and how to convince you and how to manipulate you.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
to bully you? They bully you to signing a safety plan.
And
That blew my mind. Yeah.
they do all
Yeah.
of this because they're protecting children, Larry. That's how
Yeah.
they justify this. They really believe it, by the
Yes.
way. Okay.
Yes, that's kind of what's happening. They're
They don't
they're
believe it.
using my
No,
child
no, no.
and justifying it.
No, no, no. They don't believe it, Davis. They know what they're doing. A sociopath, a narcissistic person knows what they're doing. That's
You know,
proven, by the way. That's proven.
you may
They
be
know what
correct.
they're up to.
You may be correct, but I have seen people that actually believe in their mission.
No, no, no. They want you to think they believe in their mission. See, they're so clever. They will actually convince you that they are doing their job because they want to save children. But that is a whole facade of a sociopath and a narcissist. They literally wear a mask on to make you think something that they're not. I'm telling you the God honest truth. They all know what they're doing. This is
Okay.
a
Yes.
demonic strategy. They know exactly what they're doing. They smile at family when they cry for their babies. They laugh at babies when they want their mommy and daddy. I'm telling you, Vincent, I know exactly what they're doing. That's why a lot of them resigned from the department when they realize that it's corrupt. Now, the ones that go in there, some of them are going in there with a good heart. However, when they see the corruption, they leave. They completely resign. The ones that remain there are the ones who are okay with the corruption. I'm telling you the God honest truth.
Larry,
Yes.
let's get back
See,
to you.
he always dismisses me. This is exactly why. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get it? But in your mind, you think that just
They base
understand the strategy
they
is,
will base
oh my
they will
God.
try to take they will use my information against me towards my
Mhm,
children to come back on me, and then whenever
mhm,
I fix it, go back and forth, back and forth.
mhm, mhm,
Larry,
mhm.
let's do this, Larry. Let's focus on Miss G. Forget your case,
Okay.
Larry. You're
No, I am
insignificant.
focused on Larry and everybody else fighting this corrupt system. I hate social workers. I cannot stand them. They are full of shit and they need to be persecuted for all the corruption that they create and all the pain they create for families. This is ridiculous. This is so bad. It has to stop. Stop doing that, Vincent. Stop it.
How do you propose to stop it?
Get the get 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 the kids back. Get the father back. Stop. I
Larry,
am passionate about this because I see the corruption and a lot of time attorneys don't see it. These freaking attorneys don't see it. They don't see it. They don't see it.
That and
And the
that's
good appointed attorneys, they get paid by the state and county. I mean, by the state. So guess what? They're useless at this point. So Larry here doesn't know if he can appeal. When should he appeal? I mean, he doesn't get any calls from his freaking attorney. He doesn't have an assistant, you know, like myself
it
working for
it
you, taking calls until 2 o'clock in the morning. What I'm saying is they don't put the effort in. I put the effort in because I know they're victims. And I know the children are victims, but these idiots know what they're doing, but they do not put the effort in to help their clients because
I
they see
agree with
their
that.
clients as guilty and they want their clients to say they're guilty or they're not going to get their kids back, which is false hope because All they want to do is pressure the client, the mom or the dad, the parent in general, to admit the guilt, so that way they can get their kids back. But guess what? They don't get their kids back. And oftentimes parents, because they're desperate, they admit to the guilt so they can get their kids back and kill this. It's a nightmare. Kill it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
rid of it.
it's a big circle. It's a big
They don't
circle.
get their kids back. They're getting bullied. Now remember, the safety plan is voluntary. It's voluntary. They don't tell their people it's voluntary. They do not say that. They don't. What they do is they bring 4 sheriffs with them, and then the parent is doesn't know what to do, and then they're forced to sign a safety plan that is voluntary. It's voluntary. So they didn't have to sign it. But what do? They say the parent is doing drugs. How in the hell is the parent doing drugs when you've done nothing to show that they're doing drugs? All you got is just allegations. That's all you got. That's it. No hair follicle test, no urine test, nothing. I mean, this is ridiculous to me. I want to fight for these people. I swear, as God is my witness, my heart, I just want to fight for them, because attorneys, most attorneys, they don't understand that parents lose sleep. They don't get it. It's so sad to me that they will see a parent suffering and a child suffering, and they're not doing anything about it. So to me, their heart is not.
Yeah, like she said, the attorneys more know what the system is already about, and pretty much seen many cases and kind of know the assumption of what's coming and how it's going to work out. So they kind of give up before it even gets to the point of them trying, and that's just how I feel. Like there was never their assumption. They've probably seen hundreds of cases and guessed automatically, hey, this is a loss, not even try, and that's what I got as a result. When it's actually the opposite, it's so confusing to where I need somebody to look deeper into it, and they're not willing to do those parts.
Right. And then the parents lose sleep. It's crazy. And then they can't function because they lost their job. They have to do classes. It's not necessary. They've never abused their kids. And then they're stupid attorneys. To me, they're so useless. I can't stand court-appointed attorneys because they're literally useless. I swear, I just can't process that. But they get free. But what's that? It's like
and they constantly
go to Costco for a sample. That's what it is.
Yeah. They will also use, well, this is what's best for the children, for them to be away from you. And it kind of confuses you. You want to do what's best for your children. And they keep making the assumption that the child in therapy and away from you is the best method. And in your mind, you're saying, no, that is not. I've fixed everything that you've told me. If anything, they stepped on my feet as being a parent. I feel like as being a parent, I didn't even get the chance to deal with the situation. I wasn't even allowed to talk to my daughter without getting blamed for putting it in her head. Where does a parent have say-so in their children's life besides the law overdoing them?
And that's true, because also what they do, so therapy, psychiatrists, all these idiots, they have job security with the state and the county, because they get their clients, they get their money from them. So therefore, they traumatize the child. The child wasn't traumatized in your custody or her mom's custody or whoever, but they're traumatized now more because they have to be in somebody else's home. I mean, even when I go to a hotel room, okay, I feel kind of weird, right? I feel kind of, I don't even use the restroom there because my body is so adjusted to my place, right? So it's kind of like hard. So same thing with children. They go into a stranger home. They don't know what the outcome is. They want to talk to mommy and daddy. They want daddy to talk them in, all that. And then when the children react, they medicate them. Why? Why medicate them? Because the pharmaceutical companies make so much money from this crap. And guess what? The county mayor knows about this shit too. He knows. Governor Newsom knows about this. He knows.
That is
Right.
also what happened to me. For me to express to children, youth, my
Crazy.
frustration of my children being, I feel like, abused. They said that I have aggression, and yet all they do is medicate me, and I'm the issue. When really my kids need further help, and I feel like the medication, if anything, is blocking me from using my brain correctly to focus to get my children back. So it's
Right.
all irony. It's all irony. It's everything that you think is right is actually wrong. I feel
Right.
like
Right.
for me to be a parent, the answer was I ended up being wrong. And I don't know how that makes sense in my mind.
It's very hard, Larry. Let me explain also something else is that the fact that when you're traumatized also as a parent and then you react, they say you're crazy. But who
Yeah,
wouldn't react? Who would not react? Look, I there was
that's what I said.
but check this out real quick. There was a cat that gave birth, right? On my it was right like where near my house, like underneath my house, like near, you know what I mean? Like she dug a hole, she put the kittens in there, and I went to get like to look at them, just look at them. She almost attacked me because I was looking at them.
I
The
agree
mother,
with what you just I agree
she,
with what you just said. Um, Parents have a sense of when they have kids, they go into like a protective mode. Animals have
right,
that sense also. And for CYS to come get in the mix of that, your natural parenting skills are intermingled in that. And they're
exactly.
jumping into yes.
They're that's why I call them demonic. A demon only separates. A demon separates and divides and wants to conquer. How do they conquer? Separate the family. That our anytime a demon sees that you're a good person. I'm not joking, you guys. They don't attack the abusers. All these stories I keep hearing. Boyfriend killed the children. Boyfriend did this. Boyfriend, uh, um, the boyfriend of the mother, for example, an 8-year old was found recently. Guess what? She was locked in the closet for 8 years. 8 years, or 6 years, rather. Sorry, 6 years. And guess what?
Or,
She was being raped by her stepdad while the mother was watching. There were so many reports made against this family, but the social
or
worker said it's unfound. How is that unfound?
Or here's the irony of it too. If a kid is being abused and the kid actually does listen to his abuser and doesn't open his mouth, then no CYS case is being opened up. But if you have a child like mine and I'm saying open up, we need to get this out in the open,
There you
yet
go.
I'm being punished. I'm being
Yeah,
punished for
there you
coming
go.
to light of what is wrong. But other people I know are just keeping it in the dark and there's no nothing done about it.
Exactly. And you were
So
concerned parents. So how was that your see, that's the thing too. Taking them to the hospital is their fault. How in the name of God is it their fault? Why would you take a baby for 105-degree fever? When the mother took the baby to the hospital, she followed the pediatrician's advice. Why would you take a baby? That's the lady I was talking to until 2:45 in the morning. Like this woman couldn't sleep. She was in tears. She texted me at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I just like, you know what? Hey, I'm up. I'll take the call. I'll call her. And she told me she just took the baby to the hospital because the pediatrician said the baby had COVID, took her to the emergency. They told her, you know what, there's nothing we can do. Take the baby home. The baby then had 105-degree fever. Then the pediatrician told her, go take him to the hospital, etc., etc. Meanwhile, the social workers got involved. Why? Why is a fever a mother's fault? Why is following a pediatrician's advice a mother's fault? That makes no sense. And then they don't question the pediatrician. You know why? Because they take the babies to their own corrupt doctors that will follow their little puppet, little butt ass. That's exactly who they take the kids to. A doctor that will bow down to their command. So
yeah,
they
I
can contradict. Exactly. There you go. You understand what I'm saying. I mean,
I
this whole
do.
is a shit show. It's a clown show, shit show in all courts. It doesn't matter what court you're in, criminal, juvenile, family. It doesn't matter. It's all a shit show. If you don't have
I,
the
I
right attorney with the right strategy, you're fucked. That's all I have to say.
Larry, do you have any questions for me?
I know she pretty much described a lot of the same exact things that I feel about things. Yet whenever I feel like I'm going to healthcare providers and doing everything that I'm supposed to, I feel like they are connected to the children youth service. Like they pretty much bow down to them and do what they say. Um, Yet on my behalf, if I say something's wrong with my child that's here at home right now, it would be like hit ban real hard. But I have children in the system right now, and like they literally can hide behind the doctors. If something happens with my children, they go, we make a doctor's appointment, and then it's all good to go, and I have no say so on it no more because a trained professional has more of a say than I do. Whenever he
Mhm.
doesn't know the extra little bits and pieces that's actually causing it.
Right. Well, Larry, I hope that you keep us posted on what's been going on. Have you ever talked to Miss G before?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So, when's your next court date?
I have a court date here on the 27th.
And do you know what type of court date it is and what your strategy is going to be with your lawyer?
I've already talked to my lawyer last week, and he's kind of telling me just go with the flow. He told me that I need to compartmentalize my children, meaning my oldest daughter that this happened with. I need to compartmentalize her. She's gone, and in my other two children, I'm good to go. I need to focus on them, and I told him that's not an answer for me. At this point, um, I don't really trust anybody. I don't even know which direction to go, who to ask. I have CYS workers show up to my house, kind of tricking me back and forth. I feel like I'm literally going to court to talk to the judge about everything all on my own, and there's no other real answer to it. And I've been told that I need a lawyer to speak up for me, yet he's not doing that part, and that's leaving me at a part where I'm going to have to speak up, and it's for my children, so I'm being put into a scenario where I have to do it. I'm being forced to do it because I love my children.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And fathers are normally, well, not anybody can be a father, rather. Anyone can be a father. If you have the right equipment, you can be a father. But not everyone can be a dad. And those dads who are fighting for their children are the ones who want to protect their children. They feel helpless because they are nature, like their nature is to protect their family. But the DCFS, what they want to do is they want to traumatize the children and make the father feel helpless. So he can't fight, or he tries, but then they will do everything in their power to stop the dad for fighting for his family, or they will come back
Yeah.
and say the dad is crazy, he needs psychiatric evaluation. When you cause this, you social workers, you hear me, you are full of shit. I hate your guts. I can't stand you, and I don't even pray for you anymore because you make me sick. You make me sick. You really do, because you're so demonic, and honestly, you have nothing good in you. There is nothing good
I've
about you.
I've literally had to go to counseling to address all the issues and everything that's going on. And I've come to a realization I don't feel like counseling is even counseling at this point. It's more of like talking about past issues and being judged upon them instead of focusing on therapy and focusing on helping me. And yeah, I don't, it's completely opposite.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. It's even, see, the thing is, your therapist that they're taking you to is connected with the department.
Yes.
And your psychiatrist that you do the evaluation with, they're getting paid by the department. That's why it's called job security. Job security. That's what it is. It's money.
I
Money, money.
I had a counselor that I had for about a year I got close to, then out of nowhere they automatically switched me counselors. It felt like they chose one from out of nowhere and brought them to the facility where I was at and made it to where they connected closer to me and have more connection with them. Like it's almost like they set it up, like you said, a football game. They set the team up around me, and
Yeah.
that causes me to really, instead of coming up with answers and heading in the right direction, if anything, it's just causing more trauma, more and more and more and more. And they're
Oh,
also doing that to my daughter also.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you have
Hey,
it.
Larry, well, do me a favor. Keep us posted on what's going on.
Okay,
You can
gotcha.
call me or Miss G anytime. And I do
Okay,
want to thank you for being on the show today and sharing your story and your experiences with CPS. Okay, and good luck good
Larry,
luck to you in the future.
do you have a book? Davis's the CPS, How to Fight CPS and When? It's like page to page. You have it?
no, I do not.
Okay, I would love to text it to you if you don't mind. You can just text me your information 310 462 5062 and just text me your full name and and just say you would like the book and I will text it to you. You can just flip the pages from your from your phone.
Georgette,
Okay,
what's your mobile again? 310-462.
5062.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
you
put
can
that.
just text me, Larry. Don't try not to call me, people, because I I am on calls all day long. So just text me your name and that way I will call you back, okay? Just
Hey,
stand by
okay,
for my call if you need
hey,
me.
Georgette, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell everyone that texts Georgette today with the word book. Georgette will just reply and give you a copy of my book.
Absolutely.
We got it in a digital format, so you don't have to buy it on Amazon or anything, and it's you can like just read it right there on your phone. It's really nice.
And
Georgette,
also the divorce book too.
do you have my audio version of that CPS book, Georgette?
I've been waiting for that for a couple of years now.
Really, I gotta get
Oh
it
yeah,
to you because
never.
it was done like 2 years ago.
I've never gotten it.
Okay, all right, we'll release that on another show. All right. Larry, thank you again. Georgette, thank you for joining
thank
this
you.
morning. Appreciate it.
Bye,
Everyone else
Larry.
have a good
See ya.
weekend, and we'll see everyone tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Goodbye and have a good
Okay,
day. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye.
see ya. Bye.
Bye bye, sweetheart.